Have you ever tried to secure your MySQL database only to find that you can still log in without a password? It's frustrating, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to tackle this issue and show you how to ensure your MySQL root password is enforced. I understand how concerning it is when you think you've secured your database only to discover that you can still access it without a password. You're definitely not alone in this. Many users face this exact problem. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user recently asked, "I set my root password in MySQL, but I can still log in without being prompted for it." They successfully reset their password, but are confused about why the login still works without a password. Sound familiar? Let's dive into this together. So, what could be happening here? This issue often arises because of how MySQL handles user authentication. If the root user is configured to allow access without a password from certain hosts, you might still log in without being prompted. Let's break it down step by step. And don't go anywhere. I've got a crucial tip at the end that will help you secure your MySQL database effectively. To ensure that the user is prompted for a password when connecting to MariaDB, the first step is to check the authentication method used for the root user. The user can do this by querying the user table in the MySQL database. If the authentication method is set to Unix socket, this means that the user can log in without a password when connecting from the local host. To change this, the user needs to update the authentication plugin. After updating the authentication method, the user should flush the privileges to ensure that the changes take effect. This can be done with a simple command. Finally, the user should restart the MariaDB service to apply all changes. This can typically be done using a service management command. Now, when the user attempts to log in to MariaDB, they should be prompted for the password they set. This ensures that the database is more secure. Did you know? The first version of MySQL was released in 1995, and it has come a long way since then. Just like securing your database, it's important to keep up with the latest updates. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. One user shares an alternative solution to ensure you can't log in without a password. First, set a new password for the root user using the command MySQLadmin user's root password new password. Then log into MySQL with mysqlroot-p and enter the root password. Next, run the query select host user password from mysql.user to check for any empty user records. If you find any, delete them with delete from mysql.user where user uses, and then flush privileges. After completing these steps, you should receive an access denied error when trying to log in without a password, ensuring your MySQL is more secure. That's it for that response. Let's explore another one. An alternative solution provided by another user involves checking the authentication methods for the root user. They suggest using the command show grants for root at localhost. If you see that the root user can be authenticated by both a password and Unix socket, this is the reason you can log in without a password. To resolve the issue, the user recommends updating the privileges with a command. Use grant all privileges on do.for to root at localhost identified by your raw password with grant option. After that, run flush privileges to apply the changes. Let's move forward and look at another answer. An alternative solution provided by another user involves a few simple steps. First, log in using the command sudo mysql. Then execute the command to alter the root user by typing alter user root at localhost identified via. After that, flush the privileges with flush privileges and exit with Q. This allows you to log in as root without a password from localhost, restoring the default behavior. Here's the crucial tip I promised. Always review your user privileges and ensure that your root user is configured correctly. This simple step can save you from potential security risks. And there you have it. Your MySQL database should now be secure, requiring a password for access. Remember, regular checks on user privileges are key to maintaining security. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips and don't miss our bonus tip on database security.